Hey Lee, how you going?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you going?
I'm really well, thank you. So for everyone, my name is John. I'm speaking with Lee. Normally, what we would talk about is what we've been working on for the past 2 weeks, and then we would move on to what we're working on and what we're really excited about. Today, it's a little different because over the past couple of weeks, the team has been working really hard on the projects that we spoke about in the last video that we recorded, and they're still working on that. We haven't actually been able to roll out any releases or new features in the last 2 weeks. So for today, what we'll be talking about is the progress and how things are going. So what's been happening? Anything interesting or cool in the team?
Not anything particularly cool because we've all been busy working on various of things. But I do actually have an exciting news for you is we started scoping new projects as we finished
Okay.
many over the last 2, 3 weeks.
Yep.
So we started scoping one thing that's called shortcuts to feedback filters. So it will allow people to create and save their own filters and use them as shortcuts. And we will provide some suggested filters as well. And there's a potential is that we will use voice and AI to let people create filters verbally.
Hold on.
Yeah, okay.
How does that work? Like what does that
I'll give
mean?
you a real example. So I get to sit at my computer, use my microphone, and talk to Userback. Hey, Userback, find me all the feedback that are assigned to me and overdue and not resolved yet. So,
Okay,
so it'll find you all the feedback. You don't have to learn how to use the filters and click a whole bunch of buttons.
that's cool.
Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. So yes, you can use your mouse and a keyboard to do it in the traditional way. And once those shortcuts are created, we will enhance it using AI. And this kind of thing is very actually difficult and hard to do in the past. But these days, with AI, with large language processing, it becomes much, much easier for us to do.
I like it. And I guess what sparked the interest in looking to build that?
A couple of things. One is that on the feedback page, we do offer a lot of filters, which are great. However, we do hear from our customers saying that I don't understand how to use this. This feels very technical. Oh, I wanted to find my overdue feedback, but I can't do it. It turns out it's a filter that is hidden somewhere in the UI. People just don't find them. So we want to provide real useful shortcuts to all of those complex filters.
Yeah, I like it. And I like the way that you framed it earlier in that if you just want to ask Userback to find you specific types of feedback, you might not actually know the filters to set.
That's very true. Even to the tech savvy people like us, even to the people in my team who use Userback every single day, they don't actually understand how exactly every single filter works. I have to educate them. Hey, you know, you can actually click this and use this filter. They don't actually know.
Yeah. The is not, is, contains, does not contain, always trips me up.
Yeah, it gets more complex when you have, more than 10 filters in one and just becomes harder to understand.
Yep. So how are we going with current projects? 2 weeks ago, we spoke about the linear two-way sync that
Mm-hmm.
started the Slack app. There was a lot notifications. There was the reporting.
Mm-hmm.
How are we progressing?
Okay. I'll start from linear two-way sync. Good timing because the development work is actually finished. We
Oh,
literally
wow.
hit our QA today, this morning. Yeah. The guys are very busy testing everything, making sure it's bug free. Then we can set it live. In terms of how it works, I won't spend too much time talking about it. On a high level, it will synchronize your task status between your linear account and your userback account. It'll sync all the comments between your linear account and your userback account. So if someone has a new comment, it'll be added in linear. It'll also be added in your userback project. Or when someone resolves a ticket in linear, the same feedback will also be resolved in userback. Just saves you time from having to remember to go to userback, find a ticket, and resolve it. I'm expecting this to go live early next week.
Oh, fantastic.
So that's linear two-way sync. And the next one is Slack app. I actually might have something to show you today. So let me share my screen. It's still in a proof of concept MVP state. So the design is not final, but you will get how it will eventually work and some potentials to this new Slack app. Hey, John, can you see my screen now? Cool. All right. As you can see on my screen, now you can see a native app called Userback. It's Userback Dev because this is the dev version. And you can install it as a native Slack app. And there's a whole bunch of things you can do with it. I will skip this for now. I'll come back to this later. So what we are building initially is that when you have a chat message from your customer, you can actually forward that message as a feedback. Maybe it's a bug report, or maybe it's an idea to your Userback project. The way to do it is very simple. You come here, find a message, click the button, create a feedback. It'll let you choose one of the projects you have in your Userback account. And this is dev data. So you choose it. You get to describe what a bug is. It will be pre-filled with the chat message, and you get to click the create button. And we will also use AI to reprocess it, to re-summarize it, to give it a sentiment score, use AI to figure out whether it's a bug report, whether it's an idea, whether it's general feedback, same as our existing AI assist feature. So you click that, it'll be created. So that's what we're initially building. It lets people forward messages, feedback to your Userback account. As we are building this, because it becomes a new Slack native app, we actually find many potentials to that. Because it's a native app, you install it to your Slack account. We can actually send direct messages to this app, which means we can use this to replace those notifications. Right now, all the notifications are sent to a channel where there can be many people. When a ticket is assigned to you, maybe only yourself wants to receive that notification, right? So we can notify you by this app instead of just sending all of those irrelevant notifications to a channel, which will be overwhelming to a large team of people working the same channel. So there are many potentials, and we are also looking to add another tab here. It's like an activity tab where you get to see all the activities that you have done with this app, such as all the messages or the feedback or the bug reports that you forwarded from this app to your Userback account, such as all the notifications that you've received in the past. So there are many new potentials to this.
Yeah, I like it. I think the sending a message to Userback from Slack is really great.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always been that issue of you can connect a project to a Slack channel, but then everyone in your Slack chat, the Slack group, has access to that channel.
Mm-hmm.
There may be hundreds of messages going in there, and it's really hard to find the message that's relevant to you.
Yeah, exactly. And we've also got many customers who turn down all the notifications in one single channel. Sometimes it becomes overwhelming, right? So for new feedback, it's good for everyone in that channel to receive those notifications. But for those assignments, for those status change, for those new comments, it's overwhelming. So those notifications will be gradually replaced with these direct messages. It'll be sent by this app.
That's great. Since we're talking about notifications, we're working on some updates to notifications.
Yes, exactly. So let me show you what that is. So internally, we call it group notifications. The feature itself is a weekly or daily reports of your feedback projects. So it's not this. I'll show you this later. On this screen, when you set up your personal notifications, so you've got your inbox notifications, you've got your email notifications. Now there's a new one called weekly reports. So you might have access to 10 projects and you only wanted to receive weekly reports for one of them, maybe two of them. So you can select them, and when to select it, every single week we send you a nice report that will have some metrics of what's going on in that project. It'll also group the notifications, such as new feedback, such as new comments, such as assignments, such as status change, that are actually relevant to you only. The notification will be sent to you. So it's more like a personalized notification. Not everyone will receive the same version of the email. It'll be personalized to you. I don't have that email right now because it's still kind of work in progress, but this is the settings UI. This is what I can show you today. Hopefully in the next video recording, I get to show you the full working version.
You moved away a window just before. Actually, no, I saw it earlier. It was it had some graphs on it. I think it must be the reporting that the guys are working on.
Yeah.
Do you think that this weekly reports feature will go out before the reporting?
That's a very good question. So initially, that was the plan, but we actually wanted to add some new metrics to this weekly report, and that new metrics um, will have to use the new reporting infrastructure that we are building. So we kind of giving this weekly report a bit of more time for the backend to be ready. So right now, there's no there's no estimate, but I will say roughly in 2 to 3 weeks, we will have this ready to go live.
Okay. Well, well, really looking forward to that. And I really want to see that screenshot that you had of the reporting.
I'll show you what that screenshot will look like before I show it to you. The design is not final, okay? So the guys are just very busy building the actual numbers, okay? So this is the new report page. All right. So it'll have many new metrics on it, such as new feedback you've received this month, in a comparison with last month, whether it's dropped, whether it's increased. And we will have the sentiment score. We will have the resolution time. We will have the first response time. We will have the weekly, monthly, daily, fortnightly widget impressions, survey impressions, and more. So all these numbers are great. They'll become useful. You can personalize this report. All right. So if you don't care about a certain metrics, you can turn it off. And there will be a whole bunch of other reports and metrics you can add to this page. So you can configure this page and you can even resize it. So you want this to be smaller, you can. You can remove this chart. You can add a new chart here. It can be 100% personalized for you.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that's the reporting. Again, no estimate at this stage. Roughly go out ready in the next month or two. However, we will send something live first. Those are the backend code that will start collecting these metrics for us before we launch this UI, so that when we have this UI ready for our customers, you will actually have some data on the graphs.
Yeah, I like that. And I think the one thing that's exciting me, or there's a few things that excite me about this new reporting, but the one thing is the time-based stuff that we have here, like the resolution time and response time,
Yeah.
because I can imagine that if you have Userback connected to a tool like Jira or Linear,
Mhm.
and you want to be able to track the resolution time from feedback submission, a bug report or idea through to it being resolved. And that resolve is controlled by the other tool. So when you resolve it in Jira, it gets updated in Userback, and being able to track that time is going to be great, because it's not always the issue tracking inside Jira, say, it's based on when the issue was submitted in Jira. Whereas the idea or the bug could have actually, it started in Userback, and that could have been maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 days before it was sent over with enough information into Jira. So
Yeah,
that's going to be really valuable.
I agree. I agree totally. Um, and the last but not least is the new automation builder. So yeah, we've made good progress on that. So in the last in the last episode, I showed you the design mockup.
Yes. Yes.
Progress we've made in the last 2 weeks is we've actually added functional parts to the design mockup.
Okay.
So the design mockup, it actually works. So it's actually here. So this is the centralized automation builder.
Yep. It looks a little different to a couple of
Yeah,
weeks ago.
different. Last time it was vertical, now it's horizontal. Um, and it's a lot easier to see what's going on here. As you can see here, I'm collecting feedback from my feedback widget. I'm also collecting internal bug reports from using browser extensions. And I've also got a public ideas portal where I collect ideas and feature requests from my users. I don't have my email forwarding activated. I don't have my Slack forwarding activated. I'm not collecting any feedback from REST API. And I'm using AI to assist with all the feedback. It'll auto summarize, it'll figure out feedback type, it will have workflow created, figured out for me. I can set up automations here easily instead of having to find it out in the old spot where it is here. I have to click the cog button. I will need to know, oh, it's in automation. So it's a lot easier to find. It's a lot easier to visualize, to see how you automate your feedback workflow from collecting to AI assist to automatically setting your automation to setting it to notifications and Jira or Slack or ClickUp, one of your project or ticket management systems. As you can see, I've got a whole bunch of things set up here. And they are functional. I can connect to my Slack channel. I can make changes to it. I can tick checkbox here and save. I can disconnect my Jira. I can add a new connection. Yeah, it just starts coming together nicely.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that it allows you to more holistically see the workflow of a feedback from start to finish. And the thing that I'd like to stress here is that I believe we may be looking to roll this out even as beta or for testing. So if anyone who watches this likes the look of this automation builder, because it's very new and it's very new to us. It's new in tools like this. So we'd love to get your feedback on it, on what types of automations you'd set up. And
Very cautious about the user experience here. So we are motivated. We are very excited about it, but we also worry that is this too hard for people to understand? Will our know how to use it? So yes, it's very likely that we will beta test it. And we are also looking to future-proof this because we are going to add or enhance our integrations and our automations to allow people to do a lot more. For example, connect multiple Jira projects to one Userback project. For example, having multiple Slack channels connected. So we wanted to make sure this builder is future-proof so that you can connect 3 Jira connections. You can have 2 Slack channels connected, one for your bug reports, one for your public ideas.
yeah, I think when this automation builder, I know it'll go out and it'll do a bunch of stuff, but we'll be building into this over time. And where it will really come alive is when you can do things like assign bug reports from a specific segment to a team member in my Userback account because they look after that segment. They're the account manager for that segment,
Yes.
and they handle that specifically. Or set the priority and send it to Jira to this very specific project because that's this segment's project. That's
Yes.
when this is going to come alive, when you can really filter feedback to different areas, to different team members based on different variables when the feedback is submitted.
Yes, 100%. Internally, we have a terminology. We call them conditions. So every single step that you connect will have a condition you can set up. So they can be segments, page URLs, anything you can set up against.
That's really great, Lee. I can't wait to see the progress in 2 weeks' time on the automation builder. So with all the work that we've been, smashing out over the last 2 weeks and building towards releasing these features, have we had any challenges in the last couple of weeks or anything that we've learned?
We were lucky. We haven't had any major challenges over the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm happy to say. In terms of learnings, I think, yes, what I've learned, okay, is that it is worth the time. It is worth the time and effort, talking through some fine details prior to starting the development work. So it's a lesson, that's many lessons we've learned from the past. So I decided to do it differently these days, and it helped a lot.
That's great, Lee. Thanks for taking the time with me to run through what you guys have been working on. I guess in the next sort of week, we'll see a release of the Linear app.
Yes.
And we'll be sending out emails. There'll be in-product notifications, no doubt, for that. So keep an eye out for that. And as we make updates to the Slack app, the reporting and automation, we'll be dropping stuff into our Discord as well to get feedback on that. So if you're not in Discord, sign up, join the Discord community. Would love to hear your feedback on what we're rolling out there. Thanks, Lee, for your time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, John.